Welcome to another episode of The Meeting is Dead, Long Live the Meeting, the podcast dedicated to rescuing you from the soul-crushing abyss of pointless meetings. I'm your host, Barry Bramley, and today, once again, we're diving deep into the trenches of meeting reform. Have you ever sat in a meeting and thought, I could be folding laundry, watching paint dry, or literally staring at a wall, and it would be a more productive use of my time? Yeah, me too. And I've spoken to enough people to know that we are not alone. Since the pandemic, it feels like meetings have multiplied like rabbits in a carrot patch, and our survival as productive humans is at stake. Dramatic, I know, but you feel me. Fear not, my meeting-weary friends. There may be a revolution brewing. I went in search for brave souls and companies who are fighting back, and I've gathered intel from the front lines. All right, well, front lines may be a bit of an exaggeration because it was just me and my trusty laptop digging around the interwebs. I was interested to know if anyone was doing anything interesting, and if they were, then what? And more importantly, how were they minimizing meetings and winning back some productivity time? So let's get into what I found, shall we? First up, we have the infamous Elon Musk. While he's known for a wide portfolio of assignments, there was a time he was hailed as a meeting efficiency ninja. Musk's meeting philosophy included things like cut the fat, so no large prolonged meetings. Also, no unnecessary recurring meetings. And then I think the most difficult one to action was if you're not adding value or getting value, then get out, walk out of the meeting. I do think that creating a culture in which people feel empowered to walk out of a meeting when they aren't adding value or when no value is being added to them, it's a huge undertaking, and big respect if he or they got that right. Musk also suggested direct communication over scheduling a meeting. So if you've listened to the previous podcast, then asynchronous versus synchronous or over-synchronous. So text, email, face-to-face, anything but another hour of your life spent looking at a screen with other people looking at their screens. Then there's Amazon's 2 pizza rule. Simply, if you can't feed your meeting attendees with 2 pizzas, you've got too many people in the meeting. By the way, 2 pizzas will feed between 6 and 8 people. It's a simple one, right? The 2 pizza rule is about smaller, more engaged discussions and faster decision making. No more trying to hear your own thoughts over the cacophony of a too many persons brainstorm. I do like that one. And then for those of you craving some deep work time, and that's definitely a podcast for another day, companies like Shopify and Asana have introduced no meeting days. Asana implemented no meeting Wednesdays, and then Shopify saw their no meeting Wednesdays and raised them a calendar purge and limiting large meetings to a 6-hour window on Thursdays. I imagine a whole day dedicated to actually getting stuff done. I like that. And then there's my personal favorite, Elmoing. Elmo, E-L-M-O. It stands for enough, let's move on. And it involves, believe it or not, holding up a stuffed Elmo toy when someone's rambling. Yeah, you heard me right. Tyler Grange, it's the UK-based environmental consultancy, they use it. And apparently, it works. It certainly seems like a playful way to keep things concise and on track. Before you rush in and implement this one, remember, people can be a little apprehensive with new left-of-center mechanisms. So you've got to integrate Elmoing really well to avoid people getting offended. I do, however, look forward to being in a meeting where someone Elmos me. And then lastly, there are some companies who are realizing how expensive meetings actually are. They've begun to experiment with meeting cost clocks. These clocks show the real-time cost of a meeting based on the number of participants and the duration. I do think it's long overdue, and putting a price tag on wasted time and human resources can only be helpful, right? Maybe then we'd be a little more mindful of our meeting habits, who we invite and how much time we spend in meetings. So here's the takeaway. Be intentional about your meetings. If it's not necessary or valuable, skip it. Try out one of these tactics or invent your own. But remember, We're all in this together, fighting the good fight against meeting madness. Now that's something worth thinking about. Tune in next time for more tips and tricks to transform your meetings from a productivity black hole to a powerhouse of efficiency. And remember, you're not alone in your meeting misery. I'm here to help you improve your productivity and sanity, one meeting at a time.